Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. Today I'm doing something a little different. I was contacted by somebody on Facebook, and this is kind of an interesting thing that happened. Like he just kind of reached out to me, and he was wondering if I would be interested in showcasing his collection. I thought this is kind of cool. You know, I always talk about my man cave, my stuff, and wouldn't it be cool to kind of look at somebody else's and kind of talk about theirs? And so I thought, sure, why not? I can probably put something together. And so what he did was well, I asked him at first. I'm like, could you send me some photos? Because you know, I live in Canada and he lives in the States. I can't fly down there and start taking video. I don't have that ability to do that. So I'm like, you know, send some photos and stuff. And I was expecting, you know, a couple of photos here and there, and then, you know, I'd take a look. And but that's not what I got. What I got was something completely mind-blowing. I mean, he started off by telling me a little bit about his what he does, his passion. His name is Stacy Burns, and well, right now he's an admin for a Facebook group called Console Purist. It's one of the groups that I've joined. I've joined quite a few groups, video game groups. I always like to kind of keep up with what's going on in the gaming community. I like to post my videos there. I guess he just saw my videos and he thought maybe this guy would like to do a video on my collection. Something I wanted to point out, I wrote down, I took a lot of notes and stuff, and because there's just, like, I can't believe this. I mean, like, this guy, he loves every single console, obviously. He owns 226 consoles. That is insane. I didn't even know there was 226 consoles out there. I mean, I got my console collection here, and I don't have you know, I probably have like less than 30. Like a lot less than 30. And he said he's got about 7,833 games. The fact that he can even log in that amount of games, to me, is insane. But to have that amount of games, like, I'm not even close. He also has complete libraries, literally thousands of peripherals, you know, things like the Power Glove and, you know, the different joysticks and all those things. You know, he just has a whole lot of stuff. Like, he's got the magazines, he's got everything. And so when he started sending me photos, I was just like, oh my god, I'm blown away by this. I mean, this guy, he's dedicated his life to these video game consoles and stuff, and it's pure amazement. I mean, I would love to go and see this. I mean, his house, I don't even want to call it a man cave. It's like a museum. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show some of these pictures. I'm going to talk about it and give some facts. Now, I can't really do this all in one video because it's just going to be way too long. So what I'm thinking of, and he said he's got 2 different rooms or something. He's got like a Nintendo, and then he's got like an Xbox room and stuff. So I figure, why don't break it up a bit, and I'll show a bit of the Nintendo stuff first, and then we can do you know, if this goes well, do a second video. Anyways, yeah, so let's get to this, and let's start checking out what he's got. Okay, so what we're looking at here is just basically the shelving that he's got going on. And you can see there's a lot of games, there's a lot of consoles, and like, this is what I think is his Nintendo room, from what I've got from the emails that he sent me. And I do see a lot of Nintendo stuff, but there is a few things in there that are obviously like the Jaguar, that's Atari, and there's a Panasonic thing in there. But I would say the majority of this stuff is pretty Nintendo-centric. There's some good stuff there. There's like I noticed there was an Odyssey and Atari, and he's also got there's a Nintendo and a Intellivision and Coleco, my 2 favorites, and some Atari stuff again. So he's definitely got a lot of stuff going on here. I mean, just in this one room alone. And I like how he's kind of decorated the consoles with a lot of the Nintendo. There's Sega as well, and a lot of the characters, and hey, a Vectrex. You don't see Vectrex very often. I know a lot of collectors gotta have the Vectrex, but I mean, there's just I think it's one of those systems that's really hard to get your hands on, and it's really expensive. And I guess we're looking at some more fun stuff. Lots of great stuff. So just as you're looking at these, I just wanted to read out some of the stuff that he sent me, because it's pretty impressive. Like, what's the first console he ever owned was one of his questions, and Surprisingly, his first console was the Atari 2600. You know, well, maybe not surprising. I guess I've heard a lot of people do say the Atari was their first one. Yeah, so that was his first. But he did also mention his favorite console, and that was the Super Nintendo. So quite the switch there from going from, you know, the Atari up to the Super Nintendo being his favorite. But he does also like a lot of the Xbox stuff too. So he's one of these gamers where he's not necessarily just a retro gamer, but he plays a lot of like modern stuff too. He does have a favorite video game franchise, which is The Legend of Zelda, which I think is a pretty decent franchise myself. I always enjoyed the original Legend of Zelda. One of the other things that he talked about was his monthly budget that he spends on games. He did say that it depends on the month, but sometimes a few hundred, and you know, others he could have spent you know, maybe over $1,000. And to round that one up, what's the most he would spend on a game? And usually it would be about $40. But, you know, like any other collection, if you really want to get in there and get all that stuff, you're going to have to start shelling out the big bucks for the rare ones, right? So he did spend about $200 on, you know, a few games here and there. And we're seeing some peripherals there. That's pretty cool. NES Advantage. I never had one of those. Of course, Rob the Robot. All the original Game Boy stuff. The Game Gear. That's cool. Lots of great stuff. When did he start collecting? That's interesting. It all seemed to be around a Christmas morning, 1997, when he received, I guess, he only had about 60 games at the time, and that would have been, you know, pushing him over the 61 games now. And something just, I don't know, something inspired him to say, I want to start collecting seriously. Because he said he did know some people who, like, they collected Atari games and or just like a certain genre, and you know, so I guess he decided he was going to collect seriously and go on a serious level. And yeah, this is quite the serious level. And I mean, he's got the Hot Wheels, he's got everything, and pretty much everything Nintendo put their brand on, he's really jumped in on there. I just saw some Intellivision games. That's pretty cool. Let's see, what do we got here? More Nintendo, lots of Nintendo games. And what do we got there? We got some more novelty cars. I've seen those in the store, actually. I was kind of tempted to buy some of those Hot Wheels. Well, there's some handhelds. And we also got Mario, and more Mario. Lots of Mario. If you're a video game collector, especially around the Nintendo era or the NES era, you're pretty much a Mario fan. I would say you either love Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, or something. And we're right there at the end. And so this is the end of his game room, I would say, for the NES. He did mention he's got 2 game rooms, and I'm definitely interested on checking the other one out. I kind of whizzed by these photos only because just to try and keep this to some reasonable length of video. I could have gone and done a whole hour video on all this stuff and got a lot more in depth, but I think it would be better if we just broke this up. It's cool though that even on his door he kind of marks it as, you know, this is what you're going to see in here. Although I do see an Xbox sticker, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's this is more like a collage of pictures than a video in a sense, but I just thought it would be cool just to show this off, just to give a little talk and just to talk a bit about what he's sent me. I do have some more stuff that I can talk about and a few more images, so depending on how well this goes, hopefully we can do a second video. Anyways, thanks for watching Brian's Man Cave. Hope you subscribe to my channel. Talk to you later.